Hi YouTube, this is Darkmaster491 and I have a long-awaited battle here. That's from the Pokemon VGC series. This is actually my top 8 match, or one of my top 8 matches from the Pokemon VGC 2013 regional tournament in Florida. So it's definitely a long way and certainly a while back, since I should have probably gotten this battle up a while back, but it's been long, and well, here we go. So anyways, the story with this battle is I actually, as I mentioned before, I made second place at the Florida Regional back in January, I believe it was. So pretty much I had to play through Swiss rounds, you know, like any other regional, and in the top 8 basically it was a best of 3. So this is actually the second match. I ended up making top 2, play second place in Florida, so had quite a streak of matches here, and I believe this is the second match out of our best of 3 here, so this is pretty crazy. And it was actually kind of scary because this guy that I faced here was the #1 seed at the time, since they had a ranking of best top 8 or whatever the case with that was, and I had to play him because I was ranked number 8. And we're gonna begin the battle here, but yeah, it's pretty much the story, and so I had to play him first in the top 8 pretty much. And basically he had a rain team against my sand team, so I kind of have a little bit of a disadvantage since he also had the Gothitelle on your team, and his team, as you can see here. Actually, he doesn't decide to lead with that. Here he decides to lead with Weavile and Kingdra, which is interesting because what he was doing previously was leading with Kingdra and Gothitelle, and he would easily win the Weather War by basically trapping my Tyranitar so I can't switch it out, and he would Muddy Water on pretty much everything on the field. Well, I can't switch, he'd switch into Politoed. But here he's making a lot of different plays. Both of us really thought this out. He's actually going to go for the fake out on my Hitmontop, and my eject button is going to save me from potentially being knocked out by Kingdra, but it is going to go for the Draco Meteor instead of the Muddy Water, as he's predicting Wide Guard, as I'm pretty sure. But pretty sure I could have taken that either way. I mean, even if he wanted to do that, at worst he could have probably switched into Politoed to power up his Muddy Water. But here he's a little afraid I'm going to try to take it out, though unfortunately for him he doesn't have much of a switch out, so he's actually going to be forced to switch into Politoed here. And as you can see, that's not going to quite work out so well, but at the same time I didn't bring Tyranitar on this team, though he doesn't know that, so easily that could hurt him, and it was a little bit of a risky maneuver on his part. And he's going to go for a Dark Gem Night Slash, have Weavile go for a Dark Gem Night Slash, which Cresselia is going to take like a boss, as you can see. Just totally awesome to Cresselia there. And I'm going to take out a Politoed with Electric Gem Thunderbolt from Thundurus, which is pretty much more than enough power considering I guess the way he EV'd his Politoed anyways. I assume it was partially bulky, but not entirely. More offensive, since I do recall in previous battles he actually had a Water Gem with the Politoed. So for the most part, my opponent here is playing a very aggressive playstyle, pretty much. And I notice his Gothitelle is also aggressive, since it's running a good amount of speed EVs, as you'll find out later on. So I kind of play this match very carefully as the other matches, and it was tough making this comeback. And this match even in itself just came down to the wire, and as you can see here he's going to go for an Ice Punch, and he's really just trying to take out my Thundurus and get rid of Cresselia, since pretty much he knows once he gets rid of Cresselia he can, well, he's pretty much going to have an easier time sweeping through my team there. But that's the main thing. I'm trying to make sure Cresselia does work here and just trying to get those Trick Rooms back up. So here I'm going to switch into Hitmontop. Currently I believe on my last turn of Trick Room, so I have to make sure I make the best of it. Either the last or the last 2 turns. I haven't quite paid attention to that. But here he's going to make an interesting play. He's going to switch out Weavile, assuming to try to take it out, and have Kingdra protect just to keep it alive there. And next turn he's actually going to switch out because there's pretty much nothing he can do there. I'm going to play it safe. I noticed I was playing a little bit on the aggressive part. I kind of needed to find a way to back him into a wall here, so I just kept trying to pick him off bit by bit while being a little bit careful at the same time. I did have a Light Scream still up, so I figured even if he decides to go for a Psychic at this point, my Hitmontop should be able to take the hit. So as you can see, he does switch into Weavile to kind of fodder it off, since I guess he doesn't really see it being that useful, as Cresselia is kind of halfway down. But I do have leftovers item on it, and that's gonna help as he kind of tries to stall Trick Room and switching out. So it's actually helping me a bit that he's playing more defensive at this point pretty much. And here, as you can see, I'm going to try to stop him from going for the psychic, but unfortunately, you know, the swagger, it's a hacks move in and of itself, so can't really expect it to always work. But you know, it is for the lows, and sometimes it works. You know, hey, sometimes that does pay a good hand. I mean, I do mainly have the swagger and the Corselia for my own metagross to power it up. I have Lumberry on it, so I can double the power of any attack it wants to do, but you'll see that later on. Though it really didn't pay that much effort in this battle, I believe. So here I'm actually going to make an interesting prediction because I believe he's going to want to try to stall out the last turn of Trick Room, and I don't want that, so I'm going to break his Protect here and go for the Ice Beam. Trying to take out Kingdra, and unfortunately it does not, which means if he didn't Protect, he could have potentially maybe won the battle or he would have taken out Hitmontop. And the next turn I'm just going to take it out with Feint. So what I'm trying to say is if he had not going for the Protect, but at the same time I knew he would do it because, you know, who wouldn't want to, you know, stall the Trick Room, and, you know, it's you know, you want to get the advantage back into your hands. Like, why wouldn't you go for Protect? So that was good play on my part, in my opinion there. Definitely great, and that is going to save me the match since I'm pretty sure that Kingdra would have swept through the last part of my team had it not been for that. Not to mention, Gothitelle is a very good partner for the most part, especially on the rain teams. And with Politoed, there's a little strategy called the Perish Trap, which is actually a strategy that Gothitelle and Politoed can use to trap its opponents with Perish Song. And Politoed would use Perish Song, while Gothitelle has an ability called Shadow Tag, which would actually trap the opponent from switching out pretty much. So you can easily stall for 3 turns and then switch out, and you know, just EV your Pokemon so that they can actually take the hits, and pretty much that's pretty much his team's main purpose, which is what I didn't want him to do, and I had to play a lot. I had to think hard to kind of maneuver around the strategy like that. But anyways, this is a great game. I hope you guys enjoyed the match. It's kind of narrating outside the box here, but yeah. I'll give you guys in the next video a bit of news and some upcoming details. So, yep, stay tuned for more.